and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. A Soviet-era dam located in southern Ukraine has been destroyed. The dam is located in the Russian-controlled part of Ukraine. Drone and satellite footage show water gushing out of the damaged parts of the dam. The video has been shared by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This is a crucial dam as it supplies water to the Crimean Peninsula and the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The Crimean Peninsula was annexed by Russia in 2014. Water is rising in the Ukrainian city of Kherson after the dam collapsed. Reports say that some villages have been inundated with water. Both Ukraine and Russia have ordered evacuations in the area. Ukrainian officials have blamed Russia for blowing up the Soviet-era dam in Kherson. One official said that Russia caused harsh ecological damages. On the other hand, a Russian-installed official has blamed Ukraine for destroying the dam. He said that Ukraine wants to create a distraction from its counter-offensive failures. Russia conducted overnight strikes on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Residents were alerted as air raid sirens rang for more than 4 hours. Several explosions were heard as Kyiv's air defenses intercepted the Russian attack. Ukrainian officials claim that they downed at least 20 Russian cruise missiles. Meanwhile, falling debris hit road surfaces and damaged power lines in Kyiv. Russia's defense ministry has said that it thwarted another major Ukrainian attack in the Donetsk region. Moscow claims it killed over 300 Ukrainian soldiers while destroying 16 tanks. Meanwhile, Ukraine's military denied carrying out any attack in the region. Ukraine's foreign minister, Dmytro Kuleba, has said that his country has the weapons to launch a counter-assault against Russian forces. NATO members have supplied Ukraine with tanks, drones and ammunition ahead of the expected spring counter-offensive. However, Kuleba said that having the weapons to launch an assault was easy. The real challenge would be in managing supplies needed to sustain the attack. Chinese and US diplomats held talks in China's capital Beijing on Monday. China's vice foreign minister also attended the meeting. The two sides agreed to maintain lines of communication. This comes after a Chinese warship almost collided with an American destroyer in the Taiwan Strait. China has officially inaugurated its embassy in Honduras. This comes just weeks after the Central American nation switched its diplomatic alliance from Taiwan to China. An interim Chinese envoy has been appointed to lead the country's embassy in Honduras. Former US Vice President Mike Pence has announced his presidential bid for 2024. Pence will take on former US President Donald Trump in the Republican nomination. Trump is not only a Republican frontrunner, but also Pence's former boss. Other Republicans who have entered the presidential race include Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley.
Stay in the fight.
India's Defense Minister Rajnath Singh met his German counterpart Boris Pistorius in New Delhi. The aim of the meeting is to boost bilateral ties between India and Germany. The two nations are in talks over submarines and investments in the defense sector. Pistorius is on a 4-day visit to India. As clashes escalate in Sudan, the country has started facing shortages of food, water and medicine. The water authority in the greater capital area has warned of a worsening drinking water crisis. After the clashes erupted in April, a water treatment plant which supplies water from the Nile River was shut down amid heavy shelling and power outages. Even before the conflict, more than 17 million Sudanese people lacked access to safe drinking water. The situation in the country is only getting worse now. Canadian officials have said that the country is on track for its worst ever year of wildfire destruction. Warm and dry conditions are forecasted to persist through the end of the summer season. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said that this is a scary time for a lot of people. British Columbia is the latest Canadian province to witness wildfires. Before this, fires were raging in Alberta and Nova Scotia. Torrential rains have triggered floods in the Caribbean nation of Haiti. At least 42 people have lost their lives and dozens have been injured. A lot of people have also gone missing. More than 13,000 people have lost their homes. The rains come at the beginning of the Atlantic hurricane season. It starts in June and lasts till November. Heavy rains have triggered floods in northern Ecuador. The region experienced uninterrupted rainfall for over 12 hours. More than 500 people have been evacuated by the government. Chile's capital, Santiago, is witnessing a thick cloud of pollution in its skyline. Experts say that Santiago is the South American country's most polluted city. Authorities have asked people to constantly wash hands and use face masks. According to the health ministry, cases of respiratory diseases in children have increased in the last few weeks. Cash-strapped Bangladesh has shut down its biggest power plant. The country is unable to afford the coal to fuel the plant. The Paira power plant is located in southern Bangladesh. It had already slashed production last month due to fuel shortages. This comes as Bangladesh faces sweltering heat. The electricity demand is increasing in the country. Bangladesh has faced long power cuts in recent weeks. The Brazilian government has unveiled a plan to eliminate deforestation in the Amazon by the year 2030. It'll introduce measures like strengthening law enforcement against environmental crimes. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva says that his government is determined to achieve this challenge. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak recently took an RAF helicopter from London to Dover. This is even though a London to Dover trip takes just about an hour by train. Reports say that Sunak also flew back to London. Downing Street has justified this mode of travel, suggesting that it saves time and is therefore a fit use of public money. However, recently celebrities and politicians all across the world have been criticized for taking private aircraft to cover short distances and ignoring their carbon footprint. The United Nations has said that countries must put their national interests aside and fight for the common good when it comes to the climate crisis. A top UN climate official, Simon Steele, reminded nations that the world is at a tipping point. Steele was addressing representatives from 200 countries who have gathered in the German city of Bonn. A new study shows that companies are hiding their climate goals over fears of being scrutinized. This phenomenon is called green hushing. This practice allows companies to claim they have environmental policies without having them tested. PricewaterhouseCoopers Australia has named at least 67 staff members in the country's documents leak scandal. It has submitted the list of names to Australian lawmakers. This comes ahead of a parliamentary hearing later this week. PWC Australia allegedly leaked confidential government tax documents to proliferate its business globally. The CEO of luxury car maker Ferrari has said that its new assembly facility in Italy will be ready by next year. CEO Benedetto Vigna said this while addressing a question in a conference. The facility will be used to make fully electric cars. The Italian automaker aims to unveil its first fully electric model in 2025. US regulators have sued cryptocurrency exchange Binance and its founder, Changpeng Zhao. America's Securities and Exchange Commission has listed 13 charges against the company and its founder. It has accused Binance of manipulating its trading volumes and other illegal business practices. This lawsuit has sent the value of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin to its lowest level in almost 3 months. The Commonwealth Bank of Australia has said that it will remove fees for international money transfers. This is for their domestic, retail and business banking customers. The bank will waive the $4 transfer fee starting this month. This will be applicable on net banking and their app. Media reports say that Twitter's US advertising revenue was down 59% from a year earlier. This is for the period of 5 weeks from April to May. The slowdown comes despite Musk's assertion that the company's ad business was improving. Twitter's ad sales staff is reportedly concerned that advertisers have left because of a rise in hate speech on the platform. Microsoft 365 services were down for thousands of users on Monday. Access to software including Microsoft Teams and Outlook were down for more than 2 hours. The issue was later resolved. The tech company said that it rolled back a system update to resolve the outage. The International Monetary Fund's Deputy Managing Director, Geeta Gopinath, has warned that AI could threaten the job market. Gopinath has called on policymakers to craft rules to govern the technology. She's also asked governments to protect workers affected by the adoption of AI. A report shows that artificial intelligence tools are rapidly replacing humans. It's been released by a US-based consulting firm, Challenger Gray and Christmas. According to its findings, nearly 4,000 people lost their jobs to AI in May. Apple unveiled its most awaited augmented reality headset called Vision Pro. This was during its ongoing annual developer conference. Prices for the Vision Pro will start at a whopping $3,500. This is more than 3 times the cost of the priciest headset in rival Meta's line of virtual reality devices. Reports say that the headsets are Apple's riskiest bet since the introduction of its flagship iPhone. Audio streaming platform Spotify has said that it will cut 200 positions in its second round of layoffs. This will affect about 2% of the music streaming giant's workforce. The Swedish company will lay off people from its podcast unit. Earlier this year, Spotify had cut 6% of its staff. Moving to sports, in cricket, India and Australia are set to clash at the World Test Championship final on Wednesday. The 5-day test match will be played at the iconic Oval in London. The WTC final is played once every 2 years. In 2021, India lost the final to New Zealand. They're looking to clinch the title this year. The Pakistan Cricket Board has threatened to pull out of this year's Asia Cup. Pakistan are the designated hosts for the tournament, which is scheduled for September. The boycott threat comes after India rejected Pakistan's hybrid model. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Afghanistan have also rejected the hybrid model. In the hybrid setup, India would have to play its matches in the UAE. This is because Team India refused to play its games in Pakistan over security concerns. In football news, the Spanish government has charged 7 people for racism against Real Madrid player Vinicius Jr. 4 men were fined $55,000 each for hanging an effigy of Vinicius opposite Real's practice ground. They've also been banned from sporting venues for the next 2 years. Another 3 men were charged over $4,000 each for hurling racist slurs at the Brazilian footballer. After parting ways with Real Madrid, Karim Benzema has reached an agreement with Saudi Pro League club Al Ittihad. The striker has signed a 3-season contract with the club. No further details of the contract were revealed. Benzema will now play against former Real teammate Cristiano Ronaldo in the Saudi League. Meanwhile, Real Madrid reached out to Harry Kane as a replacement for Benzema. Real are looking for a seasoned striker and the Englishman fits the bill. Kane has a year left on his contract with his current club, Tottenham Hotspur. However, the 29-year-old has indicated he wants to end the contract early. If Tottenham agree, Kane will become a free agent this summer. In tennis, an aggressive Alexander Zverev powered into the French Open quarterfinals. He dominated Bulgaria's Grigor Dimitrov 6-1, 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets. Zverev is looking to clinch his first Roland Garros title. Last year, he reached the semi-finals. However, Zverev was forced to retire after injuring his ankle. World number one Iga Świątek has also reached the quarterfinal at the French Open. She was handed a walkover by Ukraine's Lesia Surenko on Monday. Poland's Świątek was up 5-1 when her opponent had to leave the court after reporting a spike in her heart rate. Świątek will now face America's Coco Gauff in the next round. In badminton, India's Shrikant Kidambi made a winning start at the Singapore Open. He beat his Thai opponent 21-15, 21-19 in straight sets. Kidambi will now face Chinese Taipei's Xia Hao in the pre-quarterfinal on Wednesday. In athletics, Indian sprinter Amlan Borghain bagged 2 gold medals at the Antwerp track meet in Belgium. He won the 100-meter race, clocking a time of 10.7 seconds. He also won the 200-meter race with a time of 20.96 seconds. Borghain was the only Indian to win any medals at the track event. In American football, this year's NFL champions Kansas City Chiefs met with US President Joe Biden on Monday. Biden hosted the team at the White House to celebrate their win. This is part of an NFL tradition where the Super Bowl winners pay a visit to the White House. The Chiefs presented a jersey to Biden with the number 46 on it. This was to mark his tenure as the 46th President of America. The Creative Arts Agency has set the schedule for the 8th annual Mobius Film Festival. Works by student filmmakers from around the world will be showcased at the event. This year's lineup has student projects from countries like Malaysia, France, and New Zealand. The event will be held on the 7th and 8th of June in Los Angeles. Kpop Ban Victims' Han Seung-woo has announced dates for his Asia tour. The tour is titled One. It'll begin in Seoul on the 8th of July. Han Seung-woo will take the tour to places like Bangkok, Taipei, Tokyo, and Kuala Lumpur. The finale will take place on the 13th of August in Hong Kong. Rapper Snoop Dogg and his hip-hop group Run DMC are set to perform at the Hip Hop 50 Live concert. The event celebrates 50 years of the origin of hip-hop. Some other artists who are part of the event are rappers Lil Wayne and Ice Cube. The concert will take place on the 11th of August at the Yankee Stadium in New York. Singer Taylor Swift has unveiled the tracklist for her new album titled Speak Now, Taylor's Version. The tracklist contains previously recorded but unreleased Volt songs and collaborations. Swift has teamed up with singer Hayley Williams and rock band Fall Out Boy for the album. Speak Now will release on the 7th of July. Rapper Nicki Minaj has announced a new studio album with a social media post. Going by her tweet, the album could be out on the 20th of October. This would be her first studio album in 5 years after her 2018 album, Queen. The new album could mark the first release under her own record label, Heavy On It. Burkinabe rapper Hueye Guoba is helping build schools from ticket sales. A part of the purchase of the tickets goes to building a school in a village in Burkina Faso. The first school, fully funded through his concert sales, is nearing completion. The rapper calls it the One Concert, One School program. Actor Helen Mirren is set to receive the 37th American Cinematheque Award. The 77-year-old will be awarded for her contribution to cinema in a career spanning over 5 decades. The award ceremony is held to raise funds for the non-profit American Cinematheque. The ceremony will take place on the 4th of November in Beverly Hills in California. Warner Brothers has entered the NFT space. The studio is planning to sell non-fungible token bundles of its 1978 hit film, Superman the Movie. It's a multimedia NFT that includes the film in 4K Ultra HD format. The bundles also feature image galleries. The NFT bundles will be available from the 9th of June, and they'll cost between $30 and $100. The Screen Actors Guild American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, or SAG-AFTRA, members have voted to authorize a strike. An overwhelming majority of 97.91% of the voting members supported the authorization. The union represents 160,000 performers. Many SAG-AFTRA members have already joined the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. If SAG-AFTRA members go on strike, then any remaining film and TV production would halt immediately. Screenwriters in the UK are planning to protest in support of the Writers Guild of America members. The Writers Guild of Great Britain is inviting members to join the protest. The members will gather at London's Leicester Square on the 14th of June. The protest is part of the Global Day of Solidarity. It's organized by the International Affiliation of Writers Guilds and the Federation of Screenwriters in Europe. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.